Okay, folks, end of July. I'm just going to do a little bit of a roundup, what we've been up to, what we've learned, what challenges we've had. Obviously, we've had a few. July's been pretty exciting so far. Tooting, you've seen, there's a few updates on the channel. That's really progressing. So the loft is near enough sealed, plastering is done. We will be going through painting starting this week, I hope, and just working our way down. So you may remember on the top of the property there's two rooms. There's a master room in the dormer with an ensuite, and there's a little pod room at the rear. Below you've got 3 rooms. There's a family bathroom at the rear, bedroom in the middle, and a bedroom across the front of the property. The bathroom at the rear has not been tiled. The bathroom in the attic has been tiled. In the loft has been tiled. The reason we've not tiled the bathroom, which is above the kitchen, is because we've not started on the rear extension. So the rear extension, we're going to be knocking out walls, supporting with steels. If cracks do appear from a slight bit of movement when we take out that wall underneath the bathroom, it's much easier to replace or fill plaster cracking than having cracked tiles. So there's a lesson for us. That's something new. The extension should fly. I mean, party wall surveyors have been so tricky, but we're finally there. Huge amount of learning, dealing with them, understanding the questions that they need. So that's been good. This project was bought 1st of April. We are now the 1st of August, so that's April, May, June, July, 4 months in. 4 months into a 5-month build. I'm hoping we'll be finished by the end of August, but I don't think we will quite be there. Bit of learning, obviously, with this comes into the bridging finance quite a lot. I'm always saying to people, the faster you can get on and off your purchase finance, and that could be angels at 8, 9, 10% a year, it's going to be more expensive than your buy-to-let finance, which is 3.5, 4 if you're on a HMO. So my advice always is get the paperwork in early. Now that's even more critical these days because lenders are taking 8, 9, 10 days just to review documents. So you're making the initial application, they're coming back 8 days later. This is anything that's outstanding. It's just an absolute nightmare. So I'm always advising people start early. So we did that. We are starting early. The ball is now completely on the other side of the court in that Kent Reliance are chasing us for documents. And yeah, so hopefully, our application is going to stay live. It was £140 to submit the application. If they say, no, you're taking too long, that application fee is void and we would need to resubmit. It's a bit of a pain, but interest rates have gone up since. We have got a 75% product with Kent Reliance for 5 years, locked in at 3.3%. We're quite happy with that, but a 0.5% rise on an £800,000 mortgage is £4,000 a year. So do we gamble £140 to potentially save £4 grand a year in an environment where interest rates are rising? That seems like value to me. Absolutely. So we've got our valuation booked for the 1st of August. Unfortunately, I've got COVID that day, so I won't be able to attend to the property with the surveyor. So we're going to be pushing that back. I'm hoping for the start of September, but I need to speak to my project manager, Demir, who some of you may know, and just go through that process. So that's Tooting. In the meantime, I'm in Streatham. We have had planning approved for our extension, which is fantastic. We have an angel secured who is looking to fund the development, which is fantastic. So now we're going through party wall notices. Hopefully the plan is finish Tooting, Streatham starts. Brilliant. Roll them straight through. We've had structural calcs so we can start getting pennies and pounds build estimates and a serious quote together. It's a 5 metre rear extension over 2 floors. So we've got the lower ground, 5 metres out, I think 6 metres across. And then there's a little pod room above it, so part 2nd story, and also the loft to do and all the internals. So yeah, fair amount of work. Luckily, with this property, the neighbours have consented. They both intend to do works. Number 16 and number 20, we've got 2 flats over here. So number 16 is fine, that's freehold, that's 1 notice. Number 20 is a freehold, 20 leasehold, and 20A leasehold. So 3 notices for their side. 1 survey of the wall, 1 survey of the wall. Fortunately, they're both consenting, so that's fantastic. It's much easier, it's a much quicker process. The beauty of that is that we could get away with doing very little. We're still going to ask our surveyor to survey both properties, because whilst we're lovely and friendly now, who knows what may happen. So the beauty of doing that is that we document the condition. It's called a schedule of condition. You document the current condition of the party wall, the other side of this wall behind me. So if any cracks appear, you know, we can see. So we are doing a pretty heavy refurbishment. We're taking out chimneys from the loft all the way to the ground. We're putting steels in because we're moving walls. So it's pretty complex job. But so there's a lot to do there. Hoping that's going to kick off in September. So over the next 4 weeks, we're going to be arranging build estimates, seeing if we can get any materials ourselves cheaper. Party wall notices, I heard that they were signed over the weekend, so going back to the surveyors, so we just need to arrange surveyors to come and survey, and trial pits for the foundations, because we need to be sure that they're deep enough. So that's that. Back home, we have purchased a 6-bed HMO, so that's just starting. June, July, August is a pretty tricky time for the student market because of that annual changeover. It's beautiful in terms of HMOs because you've got, in theory, 4, 5, 6 friends sharing a house, which means there aren't too many issues. The problem is when there are issues, people tend to leave because 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds maybe don't make up again. So anyway, end of the year, everyone's out, everyone's back in. Some stay, fine, that's helpful, but it's deep clean and all of that admin to deal with. So we're juggling that and a refurb. I don't think we'll be ready for students with that one. The property needs a bit of damp, new bathrooms, new kitchens, maintenance on the fire panel. So it was a HMO previously, ran for a number of years, just sort of fell into disrepair. They ripped the carpets up and whitewashed the place after, before selling. So it's reasonable, but there's some things that need doing. So that'll be great. That's for the next 4 to 6 weeks as well. Brother's much more handling that, so I'm hands off. In terms of bridging, what are we looking at? We've got a number of projects. So, I mean, baby buy-to-lets and HMO conversions are our bread and butter, certainly in the Midlands. Fair amount in Scotland, which are the lower value buy-to-lets. You're looking at buying 2-bed flats for 40, 50k, renovating for 10, 20k, and letting long term. So that's the model up there. The HMO model that we're looking at down in the Midlands sort of way. So working with a great team over in Coventry and Nuneaton. Burton and Staffordshire, also a very busy area for HMOs. Some say Derby's overpopulated, it's all right. So keeping busy from that side. The beauty of the bridging business is we've constantly got bits rolling on and rolling off through the year. So just casting my eye down here, we've got 2-bed into 3-bed flat in East London, Dagenham sort of way. That was a fantastic project. That's coming to its end now. 150k on a 200k purchase. We've got a farm renovation and development which is coming towards its end. That's for October. We've got our larger commercial development in Nuneaton, which is exciting. That's progressing well. A couple of lower value baby buy-to-lets in the northeast. HMO in the Midlands, Stoke-on-Trent. HMO in Portsmouth. That one flew through planning, which I was quite impressed by. I've heard horror stories with Plymouth Council. So yeah, that was really, really good. A buy, refurbish and sell project up in Scotland. So we've got the marketing brochure for that one. That's really fantastic. And another HMO in Coventry and Nuneaton sort of way, which is progressing well. So busy. In terms of the summer slowdown, it's a tricky period. You know, I'm hearing a lot of people just going away. I mean, that's the mindset with property. There's a 6-week slowdown between the end of July to the start of September. This life gives you a very flexible way of living. So portfolio landlords that do have kids disappear for 6 weeks, which is fantastic. I mean, to take that time out and really recharge is good. So in the background, we're working on things behind the scenes, the systems, to make sure that that process, user experience is well oiled. Finally, what else am I up to towards the end of the year? Fingers crossed, if we can get this place sorted. We're looking at another PPR, personal primary residence, or a home mortgage in Tooting. So fingers crossed we can drag that out. The beauty of that one is that it's probate, so probate has been applied for. I'm hoping to the Lord, the probate office and solicitors that are dealing with it are away until September, and things just sort of drip. The vendor's expectations is that it's completed by Christmas. I'm hoping that I can buy us to the end of January, and that way we can complete. It'll be a shame to not be in this lovely big house when it's renovated, but that's the game, isn't it? You're renovating houses for tenants for income. So yeah, there's the July update. Looking ahead for the rest of the year, and we'll see. We'll keep you posted. I'm looking to do these at the end of each month to see, you know, progress and track how things are going on. So yeah, thanks for tuning in.